In the process of trying to educate family members and patients over many, many years of work about what it is that might be wrong with them, it is truly challenging to help someone understand that the organ that's responsible for helping them perceive the world and understand the world and have thoughts and beliefs and feelings might itself be impaired. That in some ways, at some fundamental way, they may need to be critical of the things that they feel and think. And I think that is a challenge, even at the best of times. That is quite different from having someone look at an MRI of their knee and having them understand what might be structurally wrong with the knee and the need for treatment. I think when it's the brain, it is the organ that's helping you perceive and understand. And if it's taking you in a direction that convinces you that something is the case, and that's a delusion, interfacing with that belief is a challenge that I think is qualitatively different from many other illnesses. So I think that there's that, which has to do with how to get people who may not think they're ill to engage in care. But around that are other layers of difficulty that people might have accepting that an individual who might have been well until recently is now not well, and the reasons for it are unclear, that we don't have very clear answers for how the brain goes awry. We have treatments that are quite effective, but we don't have clear answers. And sometimes I would say that's not unusual in medicine in general. There are lots of conditions we treat for which we don't have very good answers about why they happened. But when it comes to psychiatric illnesses and schizophrenia in general, I think the uncertainty about the causes has become too much of a mystery, or a mystery in the sense that people think that means then that it's not a real illness. And that gets in the way sometimes of adequate funding, adequate resources, and even adequate support for family members who are dealing with a loved one with an illness, that there's a way in which this illness is not legitimized as an illness. When it's equally the case that there are many other medical conditions for which we don't know much about them, but yet we treat them like arthritis, and we don't tell people that they don't have a real illness. So I think we have many layers to peel out of this onion, and I don't have a unifying theory of it, but I think there's a lot of work to do. I think it's the case that for many mental illnesses, access to care is delayed. Help seeking may be inhibited. This is usually a complex mix of, I don't think I'm ill, or when I go to seek care, they don't treat me well, or I don't have the support of my community, which sometimes even for any medical illness you need people to help chaperone you through a complicated medical system, including where to go, how to pay for it. So I think there are many different factors that can conspire to make this journey prolonged and can turn people off. And with a psychotic illness, if they already don't believe they have an illness, they may not be willing to put in the extra effort to navigate all these barriers into care. Treatment works. The earlier, the better. And we need to do a better job of marketing that message out to families and young people who often see images that conflict with that on media, in movies, that suggest that people with schizophrenia are inevitably going to be homeless or criminally involved, which is not the case, but makes for more exciting drama, I guess. So yes, so there's a very hopeful message at the core here, which is what we have to offer can help, will make people feel better, but we do need to do a better job of bringing people into care.